Bookshelves are full of incredibly exciting works, such as 250 years of Boyar ledgers and first-grade writing samples. The castle doors are sturdily constructed of oak with brass bindings. The large, round wooden table is starting to crack from age. There's a fine layer of dust on it. These chairs were once very elegant. Now they're old and worn. A worn, threadbare rug adds a touch of colour to the plain wooden floor. The books all seem to be glued in place. You also can't get the bookshelf to move. If there's a secret passage here, the trigger is somewhere else in the room. There's nothing hidden under the rug. Try as you might, you can't get the table to spin. It's too heavy and the legs are too solidly planted. The seats don't look sound. The chandelier provides scant light to the gloomy room. One of the candles has gone out and is dangling from the chandelier at an odd angle. That would be a bad idea. Someone or something would surely hear the noise. All you can hear are distant creaks and groans and the beating of your own heart. You don't see any sign of life or movement beyond the door. The door hinges squeak in protest as you open the door. A roaring blaze manages to temper some of the chill in this sitting room. You are somewhere in the eastern part of the castle. You see a portrait of a tall, arrogant-looking nobleman dressed for battle. Nothing like a blazing fire to keep away the chill on those cold winter nights. It's an ash urn. A worn thread... Don't make an ash of yourself. Ashes to ashes and all that, but are you really in such a hurry to go out like a light? You don't find any safes, secret passages, or other interesting oddities behind the painting. The door hinges squeak in. An ornate crystal chandelier reflects an iridescent rainbow of light into every corner of the room. It's a long, low cabinet. These chairs were once... Those things always leak. It's a drinking horn. At least it would be a drinking horn if it had something to drink. It's a long... The cabinet is empty, save for a thick coating of dust. The cabinet... The door hinges. You sense danger in the air, flapping on bat-like wings around you. You are on a winding stairway in the far eastern wing of the castle. Torches line the walls. The floor is thick with bat droppings. There are doors at the top and bottom of the stairs. There is a door at the top of the stairs. A door at the bottom of the stairs opens into one of the castle rooms. Peering through the keyhole, you see no threatening activity on the other side of the door. Nothing like a blazing... The bookshelf sports a number of volumes of light reading. This must have been the boyar's personal reading room, since his crest decorates the top of the shelf. The bookshelf shifts ever so slightly as you push against it, but you haven't found the trigger yet. You straighten out the crest. The bookshelf opens, revealing a secret passage. The sprawling castle watches over a lush and prosperous landscape, obviously a fantasy piece. After several minutes spent analyzing this piece of furniture, you reach the brilliant conclusion that it must be a bed. A worn, threadbare rug. This probably isn't at the top of your list of safe places to sleep. You don't find any... You don't see any sign of life. The door hinge... You are on a winding stairway near the northeast corner of the castle. Torches line the walls. There are 2 exits, doors at the top and bottom of the stairs. You see a tall storage cupboard. It's a long, low cabinet. The castle doors are sturdily constructed of oak. The cabinet is empty. The cabinet is empty. The door... The cabinet... The door... A long hall runs north and south between 2 of the castle rooms. A long bench sits against one wall. After some rest, you feel better. The door... The door... The door hinge... Through the keyhole, you can see what appears to be a child's bedroom. A large and dangerous-looking, ape-like creature sits near the door. You hear heavy breathing beyond the door. It reminds you of a hibernating bear. You politely knock on the door. Fortunately, there is no response. You sense that something is very wrong here, but not immediately dangerous. The creature does not seem to be openly hostile, just very protective of the child. There is a feeling of coldness about the child that fills you with sorrow and a touch of fear.
Who is it, Toby? It's not polite to slam the door in strangers' faces, is it, Toby? Then ask the stranger what he wants.
You say, hello.
Hello? Do you live in the castle now, too?
You tell about yourself.
I never met a real hero before. Why'd you come here?
You start to tell what you're doing here.
Toby, it's not polite to interrupt. How many times do I have to tell you that?
You tell her about the innkeepers.
I miss my mommy and my daddy. But I can never go home. Not now. Toby says this is my home now.
You can't see much out of the window from where you're standing. You are in a child's bedroom. The bed reminds you uncomfortably of a coffin, but the look is relaxed somewhat by the soft curtains and the huge toy collection. A monster guards the bed. The clock on the wall seems to have stopped. This is a statuette of a ballerina dancing. You see a small castle surrounded by snow inside the glass globe. A chest of drawers probably holds clothes for a child. This doll looks like it was made from some sort of ceramic material. This looks like the large stuffed toy of some strange animal. This clown is pretty funny looking. Reminds you of a gnome you once knew. This castle is open on one side to let a child play with dolls inside it. You are in a child... This is a Punch and Judy puppet theatre. The polka dot horse looks big enough for a child to ride. This drapery frames the bed. That looks for all the world like an ornate coffin sitting where a bed mattress should be. She's a lovely little girl, although rather pale. Her glowing golden eyes really set off the highlights in her hair. She does appear to have a bit of an overbite problem. It's a big, nasty-looking hairy monster, and it's looking right back at you with a very hungry expression. The carpet looks like a nice playing area for a child. In contrast to the delicate furnishings in this room, the door is obviously sturdy and thick.
Toby's my best friend. We play games and tell stories, and I never had a real friend before. Toby says I'm his best friend, too. My name is Tanya, and this is Toby. What's your name? My mommy and daddy don't like me anymore. I did something bad and now they don't want to see me ever again. Sometimes I miss my mommy and daddy. I know, Toby, you and Aunt Trina take good care of me. I wouldn't want to leave you ever. But I still miss my mommy. Toby used to visit me at the inn. My mommy and daddy would not like it if they saw Toby. They wouldn't let me play with him, so I didn't tell them about him. One day, Toby brought me a beautiful doll. I never had a real doll before. I named her Vanna. But when my mommy saw Vanna, she got real mad. She tried to make me tell about Toby. My mommy and daddy yelled at me. They scared me. They took Vanna away, and they wouldn't let me see her ever again. I didn't want them to do that to Toby, so I ran away with him. Aunt Trina says my mommy and daddy won't like me now. She says they will be scared of me like they were scared of Vanna. I don't want my mommy and daddy scared of me. I will never go back again. I know, Toby. You should go now. I don't want to talk about bad things. That's a scary thing. That's how come we always used to have garlic all around at the inn. Mommy and I used to braid the garlic and put it up all over the place to keep out the bad things. I don't like the smell of garlic. I had to wear garlic around my neck all the time. Now I have a pretty necklace instead. See? Isn't it pretty?
The necklace is on a choker chain, completely covering the little girl's throat.
A long time ago, I used to live at the inn. But now I get to live here. I don't have to be afraid of the bad things all the time. Now I have Toby to protect me. This is where I live now. I have this whole room to myself and Toby. Sometimes I get to go to the hall with Aunt Trina and play with Cuddles. Cuddles is Aunt Trina's pet hound. He's my friend too. Aunt Trina says she will be my friend and take care of me. I like her. She gives me nice things. She sent Toby to me. She says I'll be her little girl forever and ever. That's the place with the big fireplace and all the fancy statues. Sometimes I dance for Aunt Trina there. It's fun. Except when the dark man is there. I don't like him. I don't like the dark man. I wish Aunt Trina never brought him here. Mean. I stick out my tongue at him all the time. Toby doesn't like the dark man either. Toby says the dark man can't be trusted. You should stay away from him. Aunt Trina says I dance very well. I like to dance, especially up in the air. That's really fun. Sometimes Aunt Trina and I dance all over the room. We dance on top of the statues and everything. It's like flying around and around. Toby says you ask too many questions and you need to go away now. Toby, you're being mean. Toby says he's here to protect me and make sure no one will hurt me. Toby says I'm supposed to stay in my room and not talk to strangers. Toby says that we live in the castle and you should go away. Toby, it's not nice to tell people to go away. You're supposed to ask them to go.
It doesn't... You say goodbye.
Goodbye. You should come back and talk sometime. And I'll tell Aunt Trina that I want to see you again.
You ask the child to keep your visit a secret. You want to surprise her aunt.
Oh, good. I love surprises. Toby, you have to keep this secret too. No, a secret's a secret. Promise? Bye-bye for now.